Welcome to Harry Potter Quidditch Champions. Now, there are three things everyone thinks of when it comes to Harry Potter: magical spells, cool creatures, and this clip.
Snape, Snape, Severus Snape,
Dumbledore.
Snape.
Or if you're a little bit unhinged like me, you might think of this one.
Harry, you are a wizard. Listen here, Hagrid, you fat oaf. I'm not a wizard. For God's sake, Harry, what is with this language?
But all jokes aside, when Harry Potter released Hogwarts Legacies last year, Harry Potter fans were in awe of the scale and quality put into the game, not just from a gameplay perspective, but also from the design aspect. But the one thing that was missing from Hogwarts Legacy, and it was criticized for, was the lack of any sort of Quidditch being available to play in the game, and nobody really knew why. Well, it turns out the reason that was they were cooking up something in the background. Let me introduce you guys to Harry Potter Quidditch Champions, the latest installment to the Harry Potter gaming franchise, and our game for today's Platinum Trophy video. Now, Quidditch Champions has 32 trophies to achieve, so let's get our counter up on screen here, as there are trophies including everything from position-specific trophies, the Chaser, Beater, Keeper, and Seeker, as well as a level grind, total wins, and much more in this video. So take a journey with me into the magical world as we embark on another Platinum Trophy journey for Quidditch Champions. Now, I just want to say quickly before we get into the video, thank you for the massive support on the last two uploads. You guys have been showing so much love, and we've actually just cracked 150 subscribers on this channel, so I do appreciate everyone that's been subscribing. Also, it is worth mentioning, if you have PlayStation Plus, you may be able to get this game for free. I personally have the deluxe version of PlayStation Plus and did not have to pay for the game, so be sure to check there before you actually make any purchases, because you may be able to score it for free. Now, getting into things, the game starts off giving you the option to customize your characters based on each position. So I jumped in and began making my first character when, much to my surprise, we actually got our first trophy pop for customizing a character. The second trophy came almost immediately after for completing a career challenge, so luckily for us, we start out the game with a little two-piece on our trophy list. Now the game really begins as we get a tutorial of how to play each position. The Chaser, of course, being probably the easiest of the positions, with the responsibility of carrying the quaffle and scoring it through the goals, all while not allowing the opposing team to do the same thing. Each position has some sort of tackling ability that can cause opponents to drop the quaffle, and this is a key way to pick up some easy steals leading to goals. You first practice this at the Weasley's home Quidditch pitch, which is pretty cool, and once you have completed the training, you are awarded the Bronze Up trophy for completing Chaser training. Next up, we need to complete training as the Keeper, which simply put is just like a soccer goalie, except for the fact that you're flying on a broom and defending, well, 3 goals instead of 1. But nonetheless, we learn how to dash between goals, saving a few shots, and we grab ourselves another trophy for finishing this training. Now, the Beater is by far the funniest position to play in the game, and once you get into online games, having a good beater on your team makes a massive difference. Pause, that sounded really bad now that I think about it and hear it in my headphones. But the beater has two main abilities: a basic tackle similar to the Chaser, where you can bash other players with your club, again, pause, and a small amount of damage. Also, a more powerful attack where you can summon the Bludger to your side and smash it into an enemy, causing a ton of damage to them. This gives you the chance to knock out enemies, which not only is a lot of fun, but we'll need to do later on for another trophy. And now that we've completed beta training, trophy number 5 already was ours. This is going pretty quick, right? At this point, we jumped into Seeker training. Of course, the most important position in Quidditch is the Seeker. We got a chance to play a simulated game of 3 positions before we did this though, and we played as the positions we'd learnt already. This is where I picked up my first miscellaneous trophy, Brilliant but Scary, for eliminating the opposing beater without getting hit by a bludger. So basically, I had to take out the enemy beater before he did it to me. I was able to get a second miscellaneous trophy here as well for stunning a highlighted player after scoring. This one was pretty simple and just happened without me trying, but all you need to do is wait for the enemy team to score and then launch the bludger at the player that had just scored. Now, with our mini training match done, it was time for the actual Seeker training, and our mission here is to catch the Golden Snitch. With this position, once the snitch appears on the field, you fly through golden rings left by the snitch, allowing you to use your boost for longer. As you follow the snitch around, the catch meter will fill up, and once it is full, it will turn blue. Now, once it is blue and you are close enough to the snitch, you will be prompted to press R2 to reach out and grab the snitch. And with that, Seeker training is done, rounding out all of our positions, and scoring ourselves another trophy. From here, we jump into our first real match, and this is where I got number 9 on the trophy list. With all positions now available, I was able to catch the snitch without being hit by a bludger, rewarding me with the constant vigilance silver trophy. I don't know why this is a silver trophy. It's actually pretty easy to do, so I thought it should have been bronze. I guess they thought it was going to be hard. This one followed immediately by another trophy for catching the snitch in less than 120 seconds. These popped back to back, so again, super easy trophies to get, and it was literally only my first game actual playing. Now, 10 trophies down coming out of the tutorial, I was thinking this platinum was going to be super quick. However, what I didn't realize is that some of the trophies later were actually going to be quite difficult. Quidditch Champions has 4 tournaments available in their campaign. The Burrow Cup at Ron's house, the Hogwarts House Cup, which we all know, the Tri-Wizard Cup, and the World Cup. And I was able to unlock my first tournament trophy for winning the Burrow Cup after the tutorial. After winning the Burrow Cup, it is off to Hogwarts, where I get to suit up in the Gryffindor red and play my first match in the House Cup. I managed to snag another trophy using the Chaser for assisting a goal by shovel passing to a teammate shortly before they score. Trophy number 12 was basically free and was awarded for winning my first real game outside of the tutorial levels. And only a few short games later, we got our next trophy as well for winning the Hogwarts Inter-House Cup. Of course, we couldn't let Slytherin win, so Gryffindor had to take it home, leaving us with 14 trophies unlocked and 18 more to go. We were now onto the Tri-Wizard Cup, and this is where the trophies slowed down a little bit. I chose to play as Durmstrang, and whilst this tournament we didn't receive any trophies until right at the end, once we won the whole tournament against Beauxbatons and Hogwarts, we actually got our next tournament trophy. So there was nothing miscellaneous during this time, but right at the end we did get one for our troubles. Now along the way, the game gives you opportunities to upgrade your skills, as well as your broomsticks that your team are riding. After winning a few tournaments, you earn some skill points and some credits. I was able to unlock the gold trophy called It's Not Any Broomstick, It's a Nimbus 2000, which I love the name of this trophy. A lot of them are taken straight from the movies, which is just a really nice touch for this game. And this one was for upgrading my broom to the maximum level. I slowly started to upgrade my players' skills as well, making my team more equipped to take on what was next, the Quidditch World Cup. The Quidditch World Cup lets you choose from a bunch of countries, so of course I had to pick Australia, and it was into our first game against India. I was able to net myself a trophy for winning a game without conceding any points. Sorry, India. In our next match, I was able to snag trophy number 18 while playing as the Chaser again. All I had to do for this one was intercept a shot on goal, so I was basically just doing the keeper's job for him. Now again, the trophies dried up here for a little bit, but a few games later, I was able to finish and win the World Cup, unlocking the World Cup Wonder Trophy as my prize. This gave me enough skill points for some more upgrades, so I decided it was time to upgrade my Seeker's abilities, maxing out 10 skill points, which surprisingly gave me a trophy. Up to this point, I didn't realize the skill cap on each position was 10 points. I thought I had to unlock all 18 ability upgrades for this trophy to pop, so it was a pleasant surprise coming earlier than expected. Now, as I was playing through these tournaments, each one that you win grants you access to a higher difficulty level. And after winning the World Cup, I was able to unlock the Champion difficulty, which is the highest difficulty in the game. We jumped back to the Hogwarts Inter-House Cup for a shorter tournament and rounded up this trophy not long after for winning a tournament on Champion difficulty. Now, it can be challenging at times, but it definitely wasn't as hard as I was expecting it to be. I really thought I was just going to get absolutely demolished in this mode, but it wasn't too hard, and I found that PvP was actually much harder than playing in these AI tournaments. Now that we had 21 trophies, I decided to finally jump into some PvP games, and let me tell you, I was getting absolutely destroyed in the first few matches. I was blown away at how good some of the players already were when the game had only been out for a few days. Despite getting my ass kicked up and down the Quidditch pitch, it wasn't long before I unlocked the trophy. I won a nice clean game for playing 5 PvP matches. In my next game, I was able to play as a beater, so I decided to take on the Knock on Wood trophy. This one, simple enough, stun the opposing keeper right before your team scores, and you receive the trophy. I basically spent this whole game just bullying their keeper until the trophy popped, and if I was the enemy keeper, I'd probably be hanging up the broom and retiring from Quidditch because he took an absolute beating in this game. The next trophy came naturally, as this one was for winning 25 games in total, which everyone should do quite easily. Between the tournaments and PvP, you should be able to win 25 games. This does include campaign matches, so don't worry about it being in multiplayer. You don't have to stress about going online and playing against sweaty players. You can do this completely through the campaign. Now, from here, the challenges get a little bit more difficult. The Brew Glory trophy came from completing a mastery challenge with each role. If you don't know what these are, you can find them in the challenges tab in the main menu. Following this, you had to get the Roll Star trophy, which comes with earning a platinum medal for each role. To achieve this, you need to score 5 goals as a chaser, save 7 goals as a keeper, take out the opposing keeper as a beater 5 times, and catch the snitch twice in 1 game as a seeker. If you're struggling with this, just jump into campaign, put the difficulty on casual. You shouldn't have too many troubles, although for saves as a keeper, you might need it to be a higher difficulty level, because casual opponents probably won't get 7 shots on goal for you to attempt to save. Especially if your team is already upgraded and they're still on level 1, you probably won't see the quaffle coming down near your goals anytime soon. Immediately after this, we get rewarded with the Superb Keeper trophy as well for saving a shot with your power save. I honestly think this popped incorrectly because I didn't think I did it right. I kind of grabbed it and then did a power kick out of the goal, which doesn't make sense as being a power save. So I'm going to take it, but I don't think this is how I was supposed to do it, so it could still be bugged. With only a few trophies left, I finally attempted the hardest trophy in the game, Flake Hauler. For this trophy, you need to save a goal from a chaser you recently debuffed. As a keeper, you can send out Flake Hauler rings, which help your teammates with boost and reduces your enemy's boost if they fly through it. For this trophy, you had to have an enemy fly through one of your hoops just before taking a shot on goal and then save it. This took forever, as the enemies either wouldn't fly through the hoops or it just didn't register when I saved it. It probably took me about an hour of trying just to get this, so it's safe to say I was relieved when it finally popped. Luckily for me though, it was back for another easy trophy after this for winning 5 games while in a party. You can do this offline or in PvP as long as you have at least one friend in your squad with you. I was lucky enough to squad up with some gamers I met in the PvP mode, and after taking out a few opposing enemy teams, the trophy was mine. Almost near the end now, and the trophy E for Expectations is granted for reaching level 50. However, for some strange reason, mine popped at level 45, but hey, I'll take it. I remember seeing another video from another creator, they had the exact same thing, so at least it's popping at level 45 at lower than the 50 and not something that's higher. And last but not least, this brings us to the final trophy of Harry Potter Quidditch Champions for winning 100 games. Once I unlocked this, it was the best feeling. Getting through 100 games does take a long time. However, I will give you guys an inside tip. You don't actually have to sit there playing 100 games. What I found was the best way to do this was if you don't feel like playing 100 games, chuck the difficulty on casual, load up a tournament, basically let your team do the work because you're so highly leveled now. You can just leave the game AFK for the 7 minutes while it runs, go and do some dishes, grab something to eat, come back, and you'll have the trophy popped after 100 times of doing this. Now, this scored me the Platinum Trophy in Harry Potter Quidditch Champions. Overall, this game is quite fun to play through, and with no trophy bugs, it was a relief after what happened in my Star Wars Outlaws video. If you have PlayStation Plus and get this game for free, I would say definitely give it a go, as I had fun with it for the majority of time I was playing. If you don't get it for free and you're considering buying this game, just keep in mind, I don't think it's going to have much replayability after you get the Platinum, so just take that into perspective when you're thinking about purchasing. The Platinum overall took me about 15 hours while I figured some things out, but I feel as though if you've watched this video now, you can probably get it done between 10 and 15 hours. The difficulty on this, I would say, is a 4 out of 10. I'd probably give it a 3, but that trophy where you have to get the enemies to fly through your rings, that was just ridiculous. That took me so long, and it really just put a hinder on this, making it a little bit more difficult. But if you're lucky enough to score this in the early games and it just happens naturally for you, then great. You've probably taken out one of the hardest trophies in the game without even trying. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you want more Platinum content from me, there will be a video option on the screen for you to click now. You guys can choose and pick some of the other content that you want to watch. Feel free to check them out, and I will see you in the next video.